always lit this tune like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this.
Hey guys, welcome back to APC. I'm AndeeParis, and of course, this is where I connect with you guys. Crick Crack Storytime. Alright, so in this story, it's about a girl named Jessie. And Jessie pretty much, she's in college. She's doing great. Just entered college, having a good time. Everything is going great in Jessie's life. One day, Jessie decided she wanted to go to the beach. So on her way to the beach, she runs into a colleague from high school. They used to be cool. And so she saw the person and she's like, she want to stop and say hello because she had her windows down prepping for the beach, The boy saw her. She didn't want to be rude. So she actually made a U-turn, went back to the dude to go say hello. She stopped her car, got out the vehicle, gave him a hug. Hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. How you been? They're catching up a little bit. She finds out that, he's not doing so good. But she wanted to be a friend, to be there for her friend. She was like, oh, wow, I'm sorry that this is going on. Jessie felt really, really bad. So she was like, oh my God, maybe we should meet up, do some things to help him feel better. Maybe they can go to dinner, or they can, go to the movies, or maybe go to bowling, maybe go to the skating ring, something that they used to do before back in high school, just to help him feel better. She really wanted to help him. The dude was like, well, I don't have any money right now, so I'm not going to be able to go out right now with you. And Jessie was like, no problem. I got us. And so they set it up for them to go out the next day. After they ate the Subway, Jessie was like, okay, so happy to see you. Can't wait for us to catch up some more tomorrow. We're going to have some fun. We're going to motivate you and help you to get better. Dude was all happy. So they hugged. Jessie got in her vehicle and she was out of there. Okay, she goes to the beach, have a good time. Everything is smooth. Jessie is so happy to have found her friend. So boom, next day comes, they go out. They decided to go to dinner and watch a movie. So they watched the movie, they went to dinner and all of that stuff. Dude was having a lot of fun. He was enjoying the moment and everything. Jessie was just having a good time. So then after everything was finished, she took the dude back home. When she dropped him off or whatever, he was like, yo, you want to kick it a little bit? You want to hang out? And she was like, I don't know. He was like, just for a little bit more. I'm just so happy to see you. Dude was like, I don't know when I'm going to see you again. I don't have no phone. There's no way for us to keep in contact. I don't have no social media because I don't have a phone to get it. I don't have a computer. I don't have internet. I don't have nothing. I got nothing. Nothing. You know the rest. It might be months before I see you again. And so Jessie was like, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna find a way. I see where you live. I know where you live. I'll come around here. When I come, do I ask for you? And the dude was like, yeah, just ask anybody right here. And if I'm home, they're gonna come knock on the door and I'll come to you. Okay, cool. She decided to stay for a little bit. She's sitting right next to her car, on the outside of the gate of the area. So they're just kind of sitting there and just relaxing, just talking, chatting, talking about teachers, funny teachers that they had, friends from the past, just more catching up. As Jessie was sitting there, different people was passing around. One dude was in a vehicle just passing through and he saw Jessie. So he stopped the car. Dude was like, who's this? We got new blood in the neighborhood. Who's this? Jessie was a little uncomfortable, didn't know what was going on. She's kind of smiled, but it was a nervous smile. The friend was like, nah, that's my homegirl from high school. And so the dude was like, wait, what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? The boy was like, oh, her name, her name is, he asked Jessie, can I tell him? And Jessie was like, oh, why not? Sure, whatever. So, the dude was like, her name is Jessie. And he was like, oh, Jessie, huh? He's like, wait, hold on, I'll be back. And so he parked his car and then walked to them and then came over there and was like, yeah, your name is Jessie? Yeah, okay. What's up? I'm Malcolm. And Jessie was like, nice to meet you. So then they start talking and Malcolm was like, so where you from, Jessie? And Jessie's like, I'm from around this area, the other side of this area. And he was like, oh, okay, so that's why I ain't never seen you before. You're not really from here, you're from the other side. And so they start talking. Malcolm is asking all type of questions to Jessie and how do you know buddy? And Jessie was like, well, are you his friend? To her friend. Let's call dude G, all right? She was like, are you friends with G? And Malcolm was like, yeah, I know G. We grew up together. We from this area. Jessie was like, oh, okay, so you guys are close. And Malcolm was like, yeah, I've known him a long time. I know G, that's my homeboy. Jessie's like, okay, well, nice to meet you, Malcolm. And so it started to get a little awkward, but Malcolm just kind of stayed there. And so, Jessie looked at her time and she was like, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, G. It was really nice to see you. So Malcolm was like, wait, you leaving? Jessie's like, yeah, I gotta go. And Malcolm was like, can I get your phone number? Are you online? Jessie was like, yes, I'm online. You can catch me on Instagram. And so Malcolm was like, Oh, okay, bet. What's your name then? Like, it's Jessie, like Jessie with an I-E, Jessie with a Y. Like, how is it online? She spelled it for him, and he looked it up right there at that moment, and he followed her at that moment. And so she was like, okay, well, I'll look into it later. I really have to go. So she hugs G, said bye to Malcolm, and she left. Malcolm DM'd her his phone number to her. He was like, yo, hit me up directly. Later on that day, Jessie saw it, and she thought, because, you know, that's G's friend, he's a good person, she just assumed. She wrote him back and was like, okay, no problem. And so then she actually texted him. So he ended up getting her phone number that way. So now they start chatting in the middle of the night, just chatting. She asked him, isn't your girlfriend going to be upset that you're writing me in the middle of the night? And Malcolm was like, I don't have a girlfriend. Oh, okay, so that's why, like, you're free to text whenever you want. Malcolm was like, well, since we're speaking on it, I'm interested in you. Jessie was like, oh, well, I'm not really looking for nothing right now. Malcolm was like, well, you know, we could be friends. Jessie said, okay, well, let's just be friends. It's cool, no problem. A friend of G's is a friend of mine. So they just kept chatting for the night, and then Jessie passed out because she's really exhausted, and he just kept writing, and she didn't respond because she passed out. The next day, all of a sudden, the conversation just got a little bit more aggressive. She woke up and she saw all these messages that he wrote. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I went to sleep. He responded, he's like, what the WTF? He was like, what the bro? I wrote you all these messages. You better answer me when I text you. When I text you, you answer me, you heard? Sorry. Alright, Jessie was a little, flabbergasted. Like, she's like, what? Like, who? What is he talking about? Like, I went to sleep. We were just texting. I went to sleep. And wait, pause. Aren't we just friends? Like, what is this? So Jessie was taken aback by it, and so she backed up. She didn't even write him back. So Malcolm went to go speak to G, try to get G to get the girl to talk to him. G don't have a phone, and so he had G use his phone to call Jessie. Now Jessie saw the message, so Jessie didn't think of anything of it. She just like, oh, my friend G. She was just like, hey G, how you doing? Why you using his phone? G was like, yo, I just wanted to let you know Malcolm said he's very sorry. He didn't mean to crash out on you like that. It's just he was having a bad day. He had a tummy ache and a toothache. Jesse's just like, I'm just meeting this man. Maybe he is having a bad day. And so Jessie was like, all right, just let him know it's all good. We'll talk later. I gotta go. Bye. Malcolm waited all the way till later. He wrote her, hey, how are you? How you doing? Jessie was like, hey, how you doing? I'm okay. And so Malcolm was like, I just wanted to apologize to you. Thank you so much for listening to G. I spoke to him. I told him I was tripping. I was just tripping, crashing out on you like that. You don't deserve that. And so Jessie was like, it's okay, no problem. We all make mistakes. She forgave him, and then they just started talking regular again. This time when Jessie started to feel sleepy, she decided to text him. She's like, okay, I'm getting tired. I'm going to go to bed. And he was like, oh, okay, have a good night. So everything went smooth, and she went to sleep. Everything was cool. Next day, good morning, text messages, and they're getting afloat, getting to know each other, getting closer. Next thing you know, every day, good morning messages throughout the day. How are you doing? And stuff like that. So a month go by. There's a good rapport here. All of a sudden, Malcolm texts Jessie, hey, we've been doing this for about a month now. I really, really like you. Let's take this to the next level. And Jessie was like, well, I've had fun too. It's been really fun. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're ready for this. And Malcolm was like, of course we're ready for this. Don't you like me? And Jessie was like, yeah, of course I like you. And he was like, don't you love me? And Jessie didn't love him, but she felt obligated to be nice and kind. And so she said, yes, of course I love you, although she didn't really mean it. So from there, Malcolm was like, well, I love you too. So what are we waiting on? So then Jessie was like, well, I guess. He was like, well, okay, then you're my girlfriend. Jessie was like, okay. So boom, they locked it in. Next thing you know, Malcolm is texting her, and he's like, I want to see you. I need to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. Jessie was like, I don't know. I'm working a lot. And he's like, but I'm your boyfriend. You got to make time for me. Malcolm, he doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything. Malcolm do other things. And so he has nothing but time in his hand, nothing but time. So Jessie was like, all right, I'll try to come after work, but it's gonna be a little bit late. Is that cool? And he was like, yeah. And it's late, so you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay for too long. When she shows up after work, she finds Malcolm over there by G house, right on the street, just hanging around with his friends. She went to Malcolm. Malcolm was like, oh, let's go inside the house. So they go inside the house. Malcolm starts, immediately just kind of like pushing up on her. He's hugging her really tight, really aggressive. He's like kissing on her neck, and she's like kind of push him off like this, like, what are you doing? I know you miss me. I miss you too. Wait, hold on. hold on. And every time she kind of pushed him, he pushed back. She was like, you're making me uncomfortable, Malcolm. You're making me uncomfortable. He was like, okay, my bad. I just miss you. I just miss you. So then he backed off. They sat down. When they sat down, he turned on the TV. Again, he starts to like come at her, and she wasn't comfortable. So Jesse was like, Malcolm, I don't think we should be. I'm not ready. Malcolm was like, hold up, you not ready? What you mean you're not ready? You my girl. Like, and she was like, but I'm not ready. I don't feel comfortable. I think we should just enjoy each other's company. Jesse was like, you know what? I think I should leave. I have school tomorrow. I'm gonna leave. And Malcolm was like, you're not gonna leave until you give me some nookie. And she was like, but I ain't got no cookie. Wait. That was so corny. Anyway, she was like, no, I don't feel like that. I don't want to give you no nookie. Malcolm was like, all right, you know what? Fine. You can leave. Go ahead. Leave. Jessie felt very uncomfortable. She grabbed her purse and she just kind of left. So the next day, Malcolm tried to reach out to her, but she didn't respond. She just left it alone. For about a week and a half, Malcolm kept trying to reach out to her, but she never picked up the phone. So after like a week and a half of that, eventually he messaged her this long paragraph saying how he's so sorry and da-da-da. He don't know what came over him and that he was drinking that night. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Jessie read the message. She took some time and then she was just like what to do. She needs to break up with him. She responded to him. She was like, okay, we'll talk on the phone a little bit later. He was like, oh, okay, I'm glad you're okay. So later on that day, she actually did call him. She's like, hey, I just called you to say I don't think this is gonna work out. And Malcolm was like, wait, what you mean? What do you mean it's not gonna work out? Of course it's gonna work out. I love you. You love me. Da-ra, 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 all that. Jessie was like stuck on words. She didn't have any words to say because really she didn't want to be with him anymore. But he's saying all this, I love you, all this stuff. So she was torn. In her mind, she's like, if he loved me this much, maybe I should try to make it work. Jessie was like, okay, all right, I'll forgive you. And Malcolm was like, yes, I love you, babe. I love you. And Jessie was like, love you too. And then she's like, okay, I gotta get off the phone. I have to go. So they get off the phone. Malcolm sent her a message. When can I see you? And she was like, I don't know. I'm busy all week. He was like, okay, no problem. Everything going smooth again for a solid 3 months. On the 3rd month, Malcolm is like, I haven't seen you for a minute. We've just been chatting on the phone, FaceTiming. I would like to see you. And so Jessie was like, okay, you know, everything was going so good for that 3 months. Jessie's like, okay, sure, but not in your neighborhood. And so he was like, okay, where do you want to meet? They decided to meet at the beach. And they're at the beach having a good time, enjoying each other, walking down the beach line. You know, what's it called? There's a name for this. Beach walking? Is that what it's called? They were walking down the beach line. They spent the whole day together, all the way to sunset. So when they got to sunset, Malcolm was like, oh, I have an idea. Let's go in the water. So she was like, I don't know. I don't have extra clothes. And he was like, we'll just stop at a store and grab something. It's okay. Just let's go in the water. She's like, are you sure? He's like, yes, I'm sure. And they start to kiss and everything like that. So they get to the water. Malcolm starts to like, you know, kind of like set the tone, set the mood. And so they ended up, you know, doing things in the water. So finally, Malcolm got what he wanted. They ended up having intimacy, you see, taking it there. And so at the end of the day, Malcolm was super happy. Everybody's happy. Go home. Everything seemed so nice. The next day, Jessie woke up not feeling good. She's not able to go to school. Next thing you know, she went to the bathroom and just arf. Like a lot of that stuff came out. She just thinking maybe she ate something that's bad or whatever. A week go by, she still doesn't feel good. After that week, you know that her and Malcolm, they did engage into something. And so she took a test. She found out that Jessie found out that she's pregnant with Malcolm's baby. She's freaking out. Like, what? Oh my gosh, like this not supposed to happen right now. I'm not even married. I'm in school. I have a whole plan in my life. What's going on? What am I gonna do? Jessie's thinking. She calls Malcolm and she said, oh my gosh, I'm panicking. And so he's like, oh, you okay? What is it? Jessie's like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, oh, so you've been cheating on me? Jessie's like, what are you talking about? I'm telling you I'm pregnant with your kid. Malcolm was like, nah, that can't be. We only did it one time. You've been cheating on me. there's some other dude. That ain't my child, bro. You know what? Since you've been cheating, don't call me no more. Click. Malcolm hangs up the phone on Jessie. Now Jessie is like super emotional. She's pouring like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? Oh my god, there's a baby inside of me. This man just hung up the phone. He's accusing me of something that is not true. She don't know what to do. She don't know what she's gonna do. The next day she went to the doctor to get it confirmed that yes, there's a baby in there. You're pregnant, girl. There's life in your life. You heard? That whole day she just cried and cried. Malcolm did not call her, nothing. She took some days off from work. She hasn't showed up to school. She's just in the house trying to figure out what's going on. She's in a dark place. One thing Jessie knew is she doesn't want to get rid of it. Did her crying and everything like that. Malcolm never reached out to her ever again. He never texted her, nothing like that. And so, you know, she made a decision. She's going to keep the baby. She wiped the tears. Since she was grown enough to do that, what she did, she's going to be grown enough to take care of her kid. And now that she's not crying anymore and she feels better, she decided to go check on Malcolm since he never calls her anymore. He had her blocked. Next day, she gets in her vehicle. She drives to G's area. She finds Malcolm and he's over there on the phone with somebody and everything. And so she gets out the car and she goes to him and she's like, hey, how come I haven't heard from you? And he was like, let me call you back. And he got off the phone with whoever he was talking to. And he was like, girl, why you here? Like, I told you that's not my baby. Boom. Go find whoever your baby daddy is. And Jessie was like, really? Are you gonna do this? Really? And she just starts crying. They're outside on the street. He doesn't care. He's laughing. He went with his friends. He walked away from her, laughed about her and everything. And so then, you know, Jessie was ashamed and embarrassed. So she did like the little shame walk to the car. And she went to her vehicle and she left. Came back home. She cried some more and more. But one thing for sure, she decided she's going to keep that baby. And so since Malcolm didn't want nothing to do with it, she also realized she's going to have to be a single mama. This goes out to all my baby mamas. And so long story short, Jessie went through her pregnancy, her whole 9 months. She gave birth to her baby within her 9 months. She still went to school, big belly, work. She took care of everything like she said she would do. She completed her college. She got her degree. She continued life and life continued well for her, even though she had a little hiccup before. And as for Malcolm, she never heard from Malcolm ever again. Jessie is living with her beautiful baby girl, doing the thing, continuing her life, continuing every mission, and also taking care of her baby. And guess what? Yes, Jessie's happy. She's content. The end. Okay? That's the story. Alright, moral of the story is be careful who you mess with. It might try to mess up your life or whatever. And if it is trying to mess up your life, know how to catch yourself. Cause gotta catch 'em all. Yo. Anyway, that's the story. Thank you so much for watching and chilling with me. Share the video with at least one person that you can stand. Some people that you like. Absolutely are the ones that you love. Share the video and I'll connect with you on the next one. Peace to you, darling. You. Bye.